Okay, I'm going to do a video demo of my new GetMod tool. Before the video, I downloaded two publicly available components. One is SPA, not ISI SPA, but someone else's, and then the BES mod, which is in a multi-comp. So here I'll run the mod manager. I haven't installed anything yet. No content. You see here we've got our working directory set properly, and now here, let me pin this to the taskbar so it's easy to deal with. So first let's go into my downloads folder and grab these two components that I just downloaded and put them in my packages folder, and then let's install them. Okay, so now I also downloaded my tool before the video. Let's just pin that on the taskbar. And you can run this tool from any folder. It doesn't matter where you put it, you can run it from anywhere, but I'm just going to leave it in the downloads folder for now. So the first time you run the tool, it's going to come up and tell you that you need to log in. So you hit OK, and you type your username and password. And if you don't have one on my if you don't have an account on my service already, just click here. It'll take you to the website where you can log in, or register an account. And you don't have to put in an email address if you don't want to. And just once that's done, come back here and log in. I just made a little dummy account with nothing in it for this demo. Okay, so here it lists all of our components, and you can see none of them are registered. So let's go ahead and show you how to register them. First of all, multi-components are not supported by the game. A multi-comp is basically one big component that has a bunch of components inside it, and to make GetMod work, you have to get the individual components out of it and host all of them independently. So this BES mod, for example, is distributed as a multi-comp only, so we don't have the individual components. So what we can do is go into my tool, highlight the multi-component, and then click the export button, and it'll prompt you for what folder do you want to put them in. I'm going to put them in packages. I'm just going to make a subfolder called BES, and then it'll extract all of those files. And this is the sound. It's a little bigger. It takes a little longer. There we go. Okay. So now if you go into this BES folder, you'll see the individual files. So now what we want to do is host all of these files on a web host somewhere. And for this demo, I'm just going to use my Dropbox account. So we would want to host this file, the track, and then all the individual BES components. But you don't host the multi-comp because that's not supported. It's pointless to upload. So before this demo, I went ahead and uploaded them. So here's my Dropbox account. So I've already done this before the video because it takes a while to sync. So anyways, I'm going to put this here so I can easily get download links for each component. So now we want to actually register the components. So let's start with SPA. You just double click on SPA. You see there's no links, so I hit new and come over here, where's SPA, and get a download link, and then paste it, and then OK. And you can actually put more than one download link. So if you have a friend with another Dropbox account, because the free accounts are limited to 20 gigabytes a month, so if you have another friend that wants to help you host, they can give you additional links, and you can add as many as you want here. So just hit OK. So now that one's ready to go. It's fully GetMod enabled. Nothing else to do. So now let's do the cars. We'll do the sounds actually. get a link for the sounds, paste it. Now that one's done, and you can actually highlight a bunch all at once. And actually there's this search box here. You can just type BES, or you can type SPA or Audi. But anyways, let's type BES, and then we'll do all of them at once. Just hit the downloads button, and then up here at the top it tells you which one it's looking for. So the Audi is first, and then the Z4, $430, $458, I should have done a smaller multi-component, one that doesn't have so many cars in it. Okay, so now they are all registered, everything we want to host with. So now we're going to build a VMod, and if you had already built a VMod using all of these components, you'll want to build a new one, because the URLs are actually stored in the VMod when you create the VMod. So these components weren't registered, and so now we need to build a new VMod so it pulls in all those URLs. So I instead of hunting down the Mass2 program, I just put this button here that you can click and it'll launch it automatically. So you just do that, and then click create new mod, and I'm just going to call it GetMod demo. And you notice I have a space. I know a lot of people think you can't, but that's not true. And select SPA, select the tracks. And then the sound. And then let's set the file name, because it's already going into the packages folder, but I don't want the space in the file name, because that is where you are not allowed to have a space. Okay, so that's that. Just hit package. Done. Close this. Now I can go back into the mod manager and install this new mod. And now go into the launcher, host. You see our mod we just created. Next. And this is a fresh install, so everything's set to defaults. And I'm just going to call the server GetMod demo and no password. Everything else is defaults. Load. And that's it. Now anybody can join that server, and when they join, everything will automatically download. And that's all there is to it. So now I'll show you some other things you can do with my tool. Over here you see downloads, everything is 0 because nobody's actually connected to the server yet. But you can highlight a component if you want, and then click copy URL. And then you go to a browser here and paste it, and you'll see here is your own personal GetMod URL, and then this is the signature of the car. If you go into the mod manager, you'll see that. Which one did I select? The 458. So if you go into the mod manager and look at the 458, there's the sig. See, it matches here. So anyways, you can hit enter there and it'll start downloading. And now if you go back to my tool and hit refresh, you'll see one hit on this URL now. And if you double click, you'll see the hit here on the URL. If you have multiple URLs, the download count for each URL is stored individually, and then the URL, or the count right here in the main window, shows the total. And so another thing you can do is enable and disable a link. See, that'll disable it. That is handy if you have several Dropbox accounts and one of them goes over the bandwidth limit. You can easily just come in here and disable that particular link, and then when the month rolls over and their account is re-enabled, you can come back in here and just re-enable the link rather than deleting it completely and having to, you know, paste it back in and all that stuff. And then the other thing you can do here is click on the log button and it'll list all the hits. You can see this is me recording my demo several times because I kept messing it up. But this is the one we just did, 314. See, it's 317 now. And you notice none of them are from the game because I did all of these from my web browser. But if somebody actually connects to your server and they're within the game, you'll see it'll say in-game yes. The other thing is you'll notice this list here is the exact same list that you get in the mod manager. And actually you can add one. Well, here, let's delete one first. Let's delete this VEC one, and actually you can see here all different components. It's a different install I have, but I can delete that and then close my tool, and then now when I go back into the mod manager, VEC is missing. You can go close that, go back into my tool. Well, actually here, I'll show you something. Go into the mod manager and hit browse. You get this really annoying, really outdated browse for folder thing. It's a pain. So anyways, in my tool, the browse button brings up the more modern browse dialog. So here, let's pick that VEC install back up. So now we have the VEC install on the list. Go back into the mod manager. You'll see it's on VEC now. Okay, so another thing you can do is click on login here, and if you may have multiple accounts, I'm going to change to another account, and you'll see now all the download counts went away and none of them are registered other than this Clio here. But now if I switch to this other install, I have, these are all components for my league that are registered, and you can see here the download counts are a lot higher and all that. So let's see, what else can I show you? Alright, so I switched back to the GetMod demo account, and another thing you can do is I showed you how you could highlight a multi-component and then click export. Another thing you can do is highlight a bunch of components like this and hit export and it does the same thing, or just a single component, or you can export any of these and it'll create a component. So if you have something installed and say you make a change to some of the mass files within the component, you can then come in here, highlight the component and hit export and create a whole new component RFCMP file with all the changes that you made to the mass file. So you can kind of use this as an easy way to repackage something you've made changes to also. Kind of a dual purpose deal. But I think that's about all there is to it. Yeah, I think that's good to go. Hopefully this tool will make things a little easier for people, and hopefully this video will be easy to follow. Have a good day.